To give you some context, I used to be shocking in the amount of stuff that I bought. Like, I would have parcels coming every week. I loved a good boohoo haul, a good misguided haul. I was a big shopper, particularly for clothes and makeup. Nowadays, on the other hand, I feel like I wear the same clothes over and over again. You guys can probably attest to that because you watch all my videos. You see me wear the same t-shirts over and over again. I still buy clothes and I like clothes. I just buy them way more occasionally and with a lot more intention. A lot more of my focus when it comes to spending things is buying tools, buying experiences that make my life better, buying things that make my life easier, learning and growth. So in this video, I want to talk about how to spend with purpose. So how to embrace money and buy stuff that you love and that you use, and how to stop buying things unnecessarily. And speaking of the right places to be spending your money, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is a learning community with thousands of courses in all of the things. Recently, I took Greg McKeown's course on Skillshare, which is all about essentialism based on his book Essentialism. And I feel like it pairs perfectly with this video. Basically, it's about having an essentialist mindset. So figuring out what it is that you value in life, going at it and prioritizing things in the right way. I'm gonna have the name of his course listed in the description down below alongside a link to get 2 months for free of Skillshare, so you can sign up, watch the course by Greg McKeown, and watch a whole bunch of other courses on things like productivity, preparing presentations, learning Adobe InDesign, watercolor, line drawing, habit building. Literally all of the courses that you could think of are available on Skillshare. Skillshare is super affordable, particularly when you compare it to in-person workshops and classes. It is under $10 a month for an annual subscription. The first 500 people to use the link in the description down below will get their first 2 months for free. Now let's talk intentional spending. So one of the first things that you want to do if you want to get intentional about your spending is to sort of automate your decision-making process when it comes to what you buy by creating a to-buy list. I'm not talking like a traditional list of things that you want to get, because clearly you probably have that. I'm talking something a little bit more in-depth. This is like the ultra practical way to approach intentional spending, but what did you expect? So not only do you want to list things like what you're going to buy, the cost, but you also want to list things like impact, value alignment, alternative options. All of this might sound like a lot of work, but honestly, it takes about a second. It's adding like a minute to your time when you chuck it on your to-buy list, and it's gonna make you purchase with a lot more intention than you otherwise would have. So kick off by obviously having the item that you want to purchase, but also have the date that you decided that was something that you wanted to purchase. The reason that you want to have this here is because you don't ever want to actually purchase an item unless it's been at least 7 days since you put that thing on your list. Intentional spending is anti-impulse spending. So if you can put something on your list, make sure that you wait at least 7 days. You're gonna have the original date that you put it on the list there. You're gonna be able to fight that impulse urge to buy something immediately. The second thing that you wanna think about when you're buying something is the impact. So you wanna actually score the impact out of 10. Think like, okay, it's 2 years from now, I bought this item. How much is this item still impacting my life in 2 years' time? For example, if you took a class on how to use InDesign, that could absolutely be impacting your life at like an 8 in 2 years' time because you got a job from it. But if you bought a pair of like Valley Girl flats that you threw out in 2 months' time, that's probably gonna have an impact of a 1 because, well, 0, because the shoes won't exist. They won't be in your life anymore in 2 years' time. The next thing that you wanna consider is, are you spending in line with your values? If you're spending money on things that align with the stuff that you value most in life, you are going to be a happier person. For example, if creativity is one of your top values, then an arts workshop is probably going to be a better use of your money than spending a few $100s on a fancy restaurant. And if growth is one of your top values, going to Toastmasters and paying for a membership there is probably a better use of your money than buying a whole bunch of clothes. So being able to pick which purchases actually link back to one of your values is going to be really helpful for you to see which ones will probably bring the most fulfillment in your life. The next thing that you might want to consider is, what are the alternative options? This is only something that I've been prompted to do recently. I think so often shiny object syndrome gets in the way and we're like, this is the thing that I absolutely need to solve all of my problems and only this one thing will be able to solve them. when that's often not the case. Imagine that that item that you've listed on your to buy list is no longer available. Like, it is literally not for sale in any way, shape, or form. No one can get it anywhere. What would you do? What's the alternative option for you? This just brings you out of like that tunnel vision mode of like, this is the only thing that I can do to solve whatever problem this product is trying to solve. There's often many options, you just don't think of them because you just get so focused. It might even prompt you to think of like, okay, could I buy this from Facebook Marketplace instead, get it secondhand, or could I borrow it from someone? Could I rent it instead of actually buying the new dress? So having a template that you've created that puts all of your purchasing decisions through an evaluated process, I really know how to like make my videos sound fun, is an easy way to not really have to think that much about purchasing with intention. The actual template that I have in front of my face is emailed to you if you join my newsletter. It comes to you after a few days, so it's not immediate. So if you do want to grab that, you can, but it's also something you can literally just write down. Like, it's not super hard for you to copy. Another thing that's been super impactful for me when it comes to intentional spending is getting intentional about finding my style. So when I was spending heaps of money without intention, the main things that I was buying were makeup and clothes. And I think home decor is a big one for people as well. All of those things I've spent so much less money on because I culled the things in my life and I found my style. So if you haven't followed my journey, a quick recap: I went through the life-changing magic of tidying up, I decluttered my whole life, and then I went through my own 30 Days to Simplify challenge, which is now an ebook. I'll have it linked up here, down below, probably just down below. And as part of that process, I managed to cull all of these things and put together what I did like and what I didn't like in my wardrobe, as well as for my home decor. For example, a big thing for me pre-decluttering days was buying things with sequins. Loved a sequin dress, loved a sequin top. But when I went through the decluttering process, I actually got rid of everything with sequins because I realized that like, hey, I don't actually wear anything with sequins. I think I just like the idea of them. I didn't actually like putting them on my body. So now instead of buying something because it looks cute, like a sequin dress, I'm asking myself questions like, okay, does it go with my current wardrobe? Does it fit the color scheme that I have? Because clearly I have a color scheme. Not everyone needs to have a color scheme, but it helps. Is it minimal? Is it simple? Is it easy to wear? Is it something that doesn't require too much maintenance? There is a difference between styles that you appreciate and styles that you wear. There's something to be said about getting out of your comfort zone and changing your personal style. Clearly, you're not going to have the same vibe forever, but I think it's just a matter of looking into your wardrobe and being like, okay, what did I purchase thinking like, oh, that's gorgeous, but actually never put on my body, and cut that out of your personal style. So I feel like that is like a two-parter. Firstly, cull the stuff in your life. Secondly, pay attention to what you actually cull so that you can create a really strong idea of your personal preferences when it comes to the things in your life. The next thing that I think is really undervalued is changing your environment up so that it caters to more intentional spending. So firstly, and a really easy one, is purchase online instead of purchasing in store. I was talking to someone who actually runs a physical store the other day, and they were saying that conversion rates are people who walk into their door and people who make a purchase, it's about 30%. Online, it's about 2%. There are probably many reasons for that, but I know for myself, if I walk into a store, I'm more likely to buy without thought, particularly if I walk in like without a list, without a plan. And if for some reason you need to go into a physical store, go in with a list, with a plan. Never go to the shops hungry. That's a biggie for food purchasing anyways. Don't have any apps that send you notifications to buy things. This includes food apps like Uber Eats or Domino's, even though we love some dirty Doms. Unsubscribe from any newsletters, particularly from shops that you know that you don't want to buy from. So like the Boohoo's, the clothing stores, the shops that you're trying to spend less money at. Unfollow any Instagram accounts that just advertise like clothing for you to buy. Get an ad blocker so that you're not always seeing ads following you around for those pair of shorts that you were looking at. And always go to coffee shops, food shops that aren't in the middle of a shopping center if you can, or even like around shops that you would usually go to. This video was really short and sweet. I wanted this video to be super actionable, so you absolutely can set up your to-buy list. You 100% can go through a culling process and a defining of your personal style. I have a video on that. It was a while ago, but I'll have it linked down below. And you can definitely shape your environment to then shape your purchasing decisions. A video that complements this one really well is a video on what to buy to make you happy. These are the purchases that are going to make you the happiest in life. And if you prioritize happiness when you spend, that is intentional spending. So I'm gonna have that linked on the screen and down below. This video was brought to you by the lovely Skillshare, an online learning community that offers a membership with meaning. There is so much to explore, there are real projects to create, you have the support of fellow creatives, and Skillshare just empowers you to accomplish real growth. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so that you can move your creative journey forward without putting your life on hold. You can learn and grow with short classes that fit your busy routine. Click the link in the description below to get 2 months of Skillshare for free. You can watch all of the classes, see what it's like, and learn a whole bunch along the way. I appreciate you so very much, and I will see you soon.